right? If these Islamists ever win, you'd be for the chop. Your head would be cut off with a knife.
You'd be for the chop too.
Yes, I know I would. But I'm not an idiot. I'm
Neither am
against
I,
the
boss,
Islamists. I'm not. I'm
against
I'm
them
willing
too.
to stand against
I
Islamists.
just don't believe in violence.
So
I'm a
now
pacifist.
I don't believe in violence. I believe in the rule of law,
Just cut your head off,
not
mate.
vigilante. So now let's come back to the question, right? I propose this, that we should oppose the Islamists in terms of a muscular Christian faith.
So that's why
Right,
Palestine
right,
flags in
right.
Palestine
In terms
march.
of
Right,
English
right.
law
You see,
and
you're
order.
still influenced by the Islamists. So you're still influenced by the Islamists. That is a Hamas march. It's a Hamas march. It's a Hamas
You
march.
said not all the people in Hamas in
Correct.
the march are Hamas. Now
Correct.
you're saying that
But
it's
the
a
people
Hamas
that
march.
inspired
You're
it,
contradicting
the
yourself.
people that inspired it are Hamas. The people that called for it are Hamas.
No, it's
Right.
Iran.
If you respond to the call of Hamas,
Iran.
who's inspired it?
Iran.
Hamas. It's a Hamas
Everyone
march,
in that march.
right? So
Yeah,
let's
because of
so
Hamas.
so as Christians, and I've not claimed that they have. No, I didn't. You look, it's not my fault that you can't listen. It's not my fault.
I'm hearing you perfectly.
Not my fault.
I'm hearing you perfectly well.
Sorry, someone's microphone's dropped. Honestly, coming to Speaker's Corner, you end up being like a walking microphone.
Are all the people
So,
in the Palestine march
Luka,
Islamists? Are they all Islamists?
Luka, I'm going to ask you a question, right? As a Christian, I believe that we should oppose the Islamists from our identity as Christians, right? Or a muscular Christianity is how we should oppose the Islamists. And what that means is this, that we use law and culture and economics and society to simply suffocate the Islamist movement. Suffocate it. Wherever politics is violence. I mean, yeah, you don't understand what politics is. It's not my fault you haven't studied any political science at all. So politics is violence, yes. Politics is because violence isn't necessarily beating someone over the head.
What is violence?
Violence. So politics can be three things. Three things.
Number one.
The use of power, the use of authority, and the use of influence.
Sound like the same
Right.
thing to me.
Yeah. See, he doesn't understand political theory.
Power, authority,
Right?
influence.
Yeah, you don't understand them. They're distinct. You're just showing now on camera how politically ignorant you are. Right? They're three different things. I would, but you have such. You're against me personally so much, and you're against Christians so much that you can't hear me even when I try to help you. Yeah, I can't. Like someone like you, right, is not someone that I have the ability to help. And the reason why I can't help you, Luka, is because the Islamists influence you to be against Christians and the church, and you personally don't like me because when you were a Muslim and you tried to intimidate me, I humiliated you. Until you can get over that, right, you will never be able to hear anything I've just said. You, all the way through this conversation, you have misquoted me and misrepresented me. You haven't listened to what I've said. You don't know about the topic that we're talking about. I would love to sit and talk with you, right? Get in touch with me and we will talk. Away from this corner, away from the cameras. I am happy to give you the time, but you need to come at it with some degree of sincerity, not just, I'm going to go at Bob because I don't like Bob.
I am being sincere.
No, you're not. You're motivated by your animus towards me as a person. That's why you stood here right
No,
now.
I'm motivated by what
Do you-
you are.
Right, let's come back to a more intelligent conversation, right? I've given you my terms that I believe we should oppose the Islamists on. Christian values, Christian doctrines, Christian culture, Christian traditions, Christian ethics. What do you propose that we should oppose the Islamists on? What is the basis for your resistance against these Islamists who have threatened, that said to you that you should be killed?
So I believe that the way that we oppose Islamism is the way that we oppose any hateful ideology, which is through love. Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. He said, turn the other cheek. He said, love your enemies.
Are you a disciple of Jesus now?
I am.
You are. So you
As all
believe,
Muslims
as all Muslims are.
But I'm not a Muslim.
As a Muslim, I am as all Muslims are. So let's ask this question.
The God, Muslims.
So do you see how Islam is still influencing Luka? literally still influencing Luka. He's so confused right now. He's just said on camera that I'm not a Muslim, but he's just said I'm a disciple of Jesus, as all Muslims are. The guy is confused. He doesn't even know who he is. He doesn't know his own identity. So pray for Luka. Right? Pray for Luka. Right? So let's be clear. You've claimed to be a disciple of Jesus, right? And you, right? Does Jesus teach that he is divine?
In the Gospels, yes.
Right. So if you're a disciple of Jesus, do you believe that Jesus is divine?
No, because I believe you can pick and choose what you want to believe.
Right. So firstly, he is right. You can pick and choose what you want to believe. Like, everyone has that individual ability. And in a civic liberal society, he has the legal right to pick and choose what he wants to believe. But let me ask you this. Can Christians pick and choose what they want to believe about Jesus?
Apparently, yes.
No, they can't. So that means that you are not a disciple of Jesus, you're not a Christian.
Christians
Right?
disagree.
Now, I want you to be a disciple
Christians
of Jesus,
disagree
but you
on.
can't have Jesus on your terms. You've got to have Jesus on his terms. And as you are educated enough to recognize, Jesus claims to be divine in the Gospels, which means that the only Jesus you can accept is the one that claims to be divine. Right? And I want you to do that, Luke. I want us to be brothers.
Yeah, I used to be a Christian.
I know you were, right? But you were someone who was always driven by other motives. You were always driven by other desires that were more important to you than religion, than truth. And so we know that you swap religions for those desires. You've got to free yourself of those desires before you can commit yourself to truth. And that is the way that you escape, Luka. Right? You've got to master your own passions. You've got to master your inner self.
Just renounce violence, Bob.
Right.
Christ didn't preach violence.
So, is Jesus Christ a pacifist?
Yes, he is.
What is a pacifist?
It's somebody who believes in non-violence.
What did Jesus do when he went into the temple?
He turned over the tables of the money changers.
Go on. What else did he do?
Now, it says that he made a whip, but it
And
doesn't
then?
say that he actually hit anyone.
Right. So what it actually says is he went into the temple, he fashioned a whip, and then he drove them out, man and beast. Right? Do you think, Luka, that these Jews are just going to go, oh, right, we've been doing this, and my fathers have been doing this, and we've been doing this for as long as anyone can remember. Oh, we'll just go because you said we'll go.
Yeah, he waved the whip around, but it doesn't say he
No,
hit.
where does it say wave the whip around?
Well, it says he made a whip.
No, you're putting words into the gospel that are not there. You're saying that the gospel says he waved the whip. It's in John chapter 2, and I believe it's also in Luke, maybe. I think it's in Luke as well. At the beginning, in the earlier chapters, it doesn't say that he waved it around and scared people. That is
Doesn't
what.
say he hit anyone either.
But if you drive out man and beast, if you drive them out, that is an act of violence. If someone came right now with a whip and used it to drive us all away, would you all go around? Would you all go to the police and go, look, a pacifist is over there? You wouldn't, would you?
No, they'd arrest you for being racist.
No, they'd arrest him. They'd arrest him.
Yeah.
They'd arrest him
For?
on the basis of carrying a weapon. So Jesus made a weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
Bob, may I just interject?
It's up to Luka because I'm talking to Luka. Do you want him to? Do you want to allow him?
I don't know.
Okay, come in.
Okay, right. It's a quick question. Do you interpret Luke 22, chapter 22, verse 35 and 36? Or do you take that as read?
I'd have to read it and look at it.
Okay.
What was quoted?
Then Jesus asked him, when I sent you out first without your sandals, did you lack anything? Nothing, he answered.
Yep.
Now, however, he told him, the one with a purse should take it, and likewise a bag, and the one without a sword should sell his cloak
And buy one.
it.
Yeah. So this is a great verse to think about when we talk about whether Jesus was a pacifist. This is a great verse to think about. Jesus was moving around Palestine with armed men. Men who carried
You're reading
daggers.
into the text now.
Those daggers
All
were
it says-
used for everything. It's like a Swiss Army knife.
Doesn't say that
Right?
they
It was
carried
used for nets.
daggers.
It was used for cutting your food.
Come on,
But it was also used on the
Table
highways
knives, Bob, not
to
swords.
defend
Doesn't
yourself,
say they carried
to
swords.
defend yourself
From?
against violent men. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Jesus instructed his disciples to go out and to buy swords, and then
Put
they
your
showed
sword in
him,
its sheath,
and then
for
they
all who
showed
live
him
by the
2
sword
swords,
will die by
and
the
Jesus
sword.
said,
What did he say?
"It is enough." Why?
Why?
So that all the
Non-violence.
scriptures might be fulfilled.
Non-violence.
What scriptures is he referring to?
Nothing of it.
That he might be found amongst the sinner, the brigand, the violent man. Jesus said, when Peter cut off the ear of the temple servant, when he cut off the ear, and we're going to stop because of rain.